Are you tired of feeling stuck or unsure about your business? Maybe you've realized that entrepreneurship can be very lonely and you're ready to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who understand your struggles and they can offer valuable insights and support. If so, then it might be the time to find your perfect mastermind group. In this video, we're going to explore the benefits of joining a mastermind group, how to identify the right one for you, why I've been in them for about 20 years already, and I'm going to help provide you with some actionable tips to get the most out of your mastermind experience. So whether you're an entrepreneur, a small business owner, and you're looking to up-level your skills, this video is going to be for you. So let's dive in and discover how finding your perfect mastermind can transform your life and business.
Stacy, where are you for this Powerhouse Mastermind event?
So we're in Vegas for the Mastermind, and we've just got 2 days together. There's probably like 25 people that are here. Do I not have my foundation? Oh no. Okay. Oh, I do. Okay. I was like, this is not good. This is not good. Okay. So anyway, the perks are what the real life happens of when you're traveling and you're bringing things and you don't have what you need. So anyway, we're in Vegas. We've got people here, 25 like guys and girls here from all over. So I mean, West Coast, East Coast, you name it. It's one of the reasons we came to Vegas is we do a lot of stuff in Central Time Zone, Eastern Time Zone. So I wanted to be over here and give the West Coast people like finally a location close to them. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to mastermind and network together for 2 days, but I know a lot of people don't know what that even means. So I really want to make sure we get into this video, like what is a mastermind and should you be in one and how do you pick one and all of that stuff. So
how do you prepare to create an atmosphere where attendees feel comfortable and vulnerable?
Yeah, so I always say it's not a retreat until somebody cries, because there is crying, which sounds crazy. And I'm not a crier, and I typically do not cry, but yes, in business, it can be a lot. So sometimes it'll even be the person who says like, I don't even cry. Like, what is happening? Why is this happening? And it's because they finally have found a room where you can say things you've never said before to your friends, your family, your mom, right? Like these are things where you feel like you should know better, or like they don't understand you, so you're not gonna tell them. So we've all of a sudden, they get in this room for the first time, they're with people that get them, that are going through exactly what they're going through, and they realize very quickly, oh wow, I'm starting to share things with these strangers that I never thought I was gonna share. And yeah, a lot of times like tears will start happening or just that vulnerable side of them starts to come out. But I think it's naturally a safe space because they realize these people are just like me and they completely get whatever you're about to say. You can't say big goals or big wins or
right.
It's like
they're just like, okay.
Yeah. Or like I remember like when my Instagram got shut down for 3 weeks, it was devastating. Like I was literally thinking like we make over $100,000 a month on our Instagram account. So like when I would say to, a family member or just like a friend, like, oh, this is, shut down. They're like, oh, that sucks. Are you just going to make a new one? Like, no big deal. When I would tell like a business friend, they're like, Stacey, like I'm going to call some people. I'm going to see like they knew the urgency and this is not good. Right. So it's like, it's just a room like that where they get it. They understand you. You're speaking the same language.
Mm-hmm. How did you get started with Masterminds?
Yeah, so I started my business 22 years ago. And I, for 3 years, did it on my own, meaning like no mentor, no coaches, nothing, because I didn't know that even existed. I never heard of a business coach. I probably thought it was like a scam or like, what do you mean? Like you have a coach for business, right? I also probably had like an ego of like, I know what I'm doing. I don't need one. And then 3 years into business, I didn't know what I was doing. I was good at dance and teaching dance. I was not good at managing the money. And, my budget would be, I want to buy something for $5,000. Oh, the bank account is $6,000. Perfect. And then I would buy it and then be like, wait, I have to pay people on Friday and I forgot about that. Or the credit card bill's coming out in 2 weeks and I forgot about that. So I was really, really not that great when I first got started. And I got a postcard in the mail that was saying, kind of like today's Facebook ad, because this was like back in 2000 and maybe like 5 or 6, around there, right? So this is pre-Facebook. So basically I got a really good postcard in the mail that had like what a Facebook ad would say. And it was like letting me know that there was this huge group of dance studio owners coming together in New York City. And it had all these strategies to like fix all the problems that I had, and that the copy was so good. The messaging was so good. Like I knew, like this person knew me. They knew my struggles. So I got on a plane. I actually brought my mom because I was a little nervous and I had never done anything like that. So mom came with, and that blew my mind. He sold something at the end of the conference, and I was like, I will buy whatever he's selling. I need this. Because for 2 days it was like, that's why we're struggling. Oh, that's normal. Okay. Oh, wow. I thought that was a problem. That's just the stage we're in. So then I bought his program, which was called a Mastermind. I'd never heard of a Mastermind. It was kind of like a combination of a mastermind and a group coaching program, and then a private coach. It was like, I got to talk to him. I got to be in this amazing group. We would travel around the world together and meet up every like 6 months. So that's actually what got me started in it. And I've now been in one. I've never left. So no, I shouldn't say I never left that program. I was actually there for 8 years, but I've never left a mastermind. Like I have been in masterminds, coaching programs, etc., for 19 years already, consistently.
Who is meant for Powerhouse?
When we have people apply to be in one of our masterminds or in a well-oiled, and they come in complaining about all the other programs they've been in, we immediately are like, red flag. This person does not do the work, right? So that's the part that I don't want somebody to join the program and not work and then think I misled them. Yeah. If I know you're not a worker, if I know you're just going to come in and not do anything and complain, we will literally like call them out on the call of like, okay, cool. So that sucks that, that program didn't work. Do you feel like you gave it 100% and you did everything you could to like work the strategies? And immediately they're like, well,
right.
I was a little busy. Okay, cool. So to be fair, it might not have been the program was horrible. It could have just been the timing wasn't right. They didn't have accountability.
Right.
And then therefore you didn't do the work, right? So if we can get them to take ownership and accountability on the call of realizing, no, part of it was me, they actually do a lot better in the program versus if they just come in and they think, oh, this is just like the other program I bought. It's like, you have to do stuff. You have to work. Like, I cannot, like, I hope people can see how hard of a worker I am. What's funny is in HR, we were doing some interviews and Sean said to me, some of these people you're attracting, they're like, I love that Stacy's a mom and, she's like never misses things with her kids. And, it's almost like they're thinking, I'm not working hard. It's like I'm a mom and being present and working hard. I'm working harder than most people because I'm trying to be good at both, right? I think sometimes we make it look too easy, right? And that's the part it's like, no, this does take work, but man, it is worth it if you can do it.
Absolutely.
All right, so you asked me who is good for Powerhouse?
Yeah, who is meant for Powerhouse?
Who's meant for Powerhouse? So right now, Powerhouse has evolved. I think we've done it now for 8 years, I think. So it's definitely evolved. Right now, as it stands, the minimum revenue requirement is you must be making $1 million in annual revenue. So, not profit, but revenue. So as we bring people in, why did we do that? Well, in the beginning, anybody could join the program, right? And anybody that wanted to work with me, if you want a mastermind, like come in and it would be 100,000 or whatever number. And then because I am a 7-figure entrepreneur, I started to get people in 7-figure range that would come in and they would go, wait, what's happening? Why are we asking really newbie questions? Why this person's like starting a business and she's in this room. And I realized very quickly with the person we were attracting, I needed to create a safe space for them to be in a room with people that were producing similar revenues, because with similar revenues comes similar problems, struggles, goals, etc. And it honestly does a disservice to somebody who's brand spanking new to walk in the room with 7-figure entrepreneurs. It can actually hurt their belief and hurt their confidence because they just feel like they're so far off and they're never gonna get it. So we really have like well-oiled operations is for like our 6-figure entrepreneurs. And then once they hit that 7-figure mark, we recommend they go to Powerhouse. So Powerhouse has 7 and 8-figure entrepreneurs inside of the program. And there's mostly United States, many Canadians, UK, any English speaking country basically. But I would say, 90% of people are most likely from the United States, somewhere all over. And they've been in business at least a few years, because think, you're not going to hit $1 million, your first, I shouldn't say never, but most people do not hit $1 million in like year 1, year 2, year 3. So the people in the room are established, they're experienced. Some people have been in business, 10, 15, 20 years already.
What is your favorite part about Mastermind events?
I think for me, it's so necessary to get out of the day-to-day. Now, before you even get here, what's cool is you have a deadline that you have to get some stuff done before you leave. So even me, like as I came out here, I'm like, okay, I'm traveling Tuesday. What do I need to get done? So it's kind of like when you head out on a vacation, you like are so productive, right? So you get this stuff done with a hard deadline. And then when you get here, you're away from the desk. You're away from your business. And that is the part you need. You're not going to create this magical, this crazy, amazing goal and like brainstorming and vision and all of that at your desk. You're just not going to do that. So I think for me, the networking is huge, but just the moment to like get away from the desk and start thinking bigger, brainstorming. I always increase my belief and my motivation when I go to things like this. So when I remember I was sitting in a mastermind one time. I was at, oh my goodness, I'm gonna make these numbers up to give the example because I don't remember, this was many years ago. But like, let's say I was at 500,000 in revenue and I sat down next to a girl and we were all publicly sharing our goals. And I think I said out loud, like, I really wanna go to 600,000 next year, that's my goal. And the girl next to me is like, hi, my name is whatever, and I wanna go to 2 million next year. So then I sit with her at lunch and I was like, oh, that's a really big goal. Wow, that's like, congrats, that's huge. And I said, where are you at this year? And she said 500,000. And I was like, what? I'm at 500,000 and my goal is to go to 600,000. And she said, why so small? Whoa, right? I was just like, I don't know, it felt like a big jump to me. Like it's an extra 100,000, right? And just sitting down with people who are go-getters, who are, thinking big. I walked out of there, not with a $2 million goal, but I was like, okay, if she's shooting that high, like why am I not shooting higher, than what I came in with? So I left with a much larger goal, and it just increased my belief in myself that, hey, if she can do it, why can't I do it, right? We're in the same group. I could talk to her. I could see what she's doing. I could ask these questions. So I think that's a huge part, is like thinking bigger, believing bigger, and then you're so motivated. Some people come in a funk. They come in discouraged, something bad's happening in business. They're dealing with an employee or an upset client, or like the energy is just not great maybe sometimes for some people when they first come in. But I've never seen somebody leave in that funk. They always come just feeling so much stronger and better and more motivated, and that I think is my favorite part.
Where do you get your content ideas from?
Yeah, that's probably my biggest obstacle, maybe I would say. Like, it's not easy. And the higher level the group is, the more they expect, of course. Like, they're really successful. I can't go in and teaching newbie strategies, right? So I listen to them. Like when I see these guys, I teach them every Monday. So every Monday when they bring their questions, things that they have that they need, I'm looking for hints, clues. Okay, she's struggling with this. What if I taught this? Or so I'm really watching for ideas like that. I also am huge on just learning for myself. So I recently read this book, Unreasonable Hospitality. It's by Will. I can't think of his last name. If you Googled that, you'll find it. But really good book. And I was super inspired after I read it. And I was like, you know what? I want to do a session on this. And first of all, you always give credit where credit is due. I did not take his book, rip it off, and then teach my clients, right? So what I did was, in fact, is I bought everybody his book because I was so inspired by it. I'm like, I want them to read this. So They're gonna get the book this morning, so they don't know that. And then my first session is basically inspired by his book. So what does that mean? Well, some things I'm gonna flat out quote and say, okay, here's something he taught. But then I'm gonna be able to share, based off of what he said, here are a few things we're doing, right? So I get to put my own spin on it as well, and that really helps. So I think because I'm constantly, continuously learning, I always just bring back what I've learned or what I'm struggling with, what I'm working on, what my mentor told me I should be doing, things like that. Okay, little tip when you're traveling is I went to the dry bar yesterday. So I slept on my hair, I have not curled it yet, and this is what it looks like. I could probably show up right now looking like this, which saves me a ton of time. So now all I have to do is just fix the pieces that slept on it funky. But anything I can do to save time to not have to spend an hour on my hair this morning is amazing. All right, little travel hack for you.
What is your own personal routine to prepare for an event?
If you haven't hit that like button yet and you're getting value out of today's video, it would mean so much to me if you could hit the thumbs up.
Okay, my own personal routine. So first of all, the content for me is the most important part. And I really think my content will make or break some of their experience. I put a lot of emphasis on what is going to be taught in that room to spark conversation. And in fact, I probably wrote this presentation maybe 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, and then I got it back. They took it to they gave it to my designer. He made the slides. I got it back. I reread it. Now I create so much content for free, for Well Oiled, just so many different groups. When I got it back, I was like, oh, I couldn't even remember what I wrote, first of all. But the first session, I was like, this isn't strong enough to open. I was not wowed enough by the session myself. And I think the first session sets the tone. So I actually swapped the session that I was gonna do on day 2 and made it be day 1 because I think it's one of the stronger sessions. And their first impression, they're gonna go to lunch after session 1 and they're gonna talk. And the quality of their questions, the quality of already being oh my gosh, session 1 was amazing, versus yeah, it was good. It sets the tone for the rest of the room. So I'm very intentional about what I'm putting out there, but I'm also very intentional about who's in the room, what do they need, and how can I facilitate them talking? So last night at the cocktail hour, that's one thing we do to kind of prep. At the cocktail hour, I said to them, because some of these people have come from Well Oiled, where I am the expert, and I do talk on stage 90% of the time, and no one's interrupting me. I am full on presenting. So one of the things I said to them was, you guys are 7-figure business owners. You have so much value in this room. You can interrupt me. You can share a story. You can tell us, hey, I did that and here's what happened. Here are the results. I wanted them to know we contribute in a mastermind. It's not just me. And that takes the pressure off a little bit, but it also, they want to. These are amazing, successful people. They want to share their opinions. These are high achievers. So I'm trying not to be the star of the show in this room. I'm trying to be one of the people masterminding with them. And I will tell you what's amazing, because these are such high-level people, is the amount of times we've walked away and my team has notes of stuff the room said, of we should try this, we should do this. This is amazing.
How do you know when someone is meant for Powerhouse?
Okay, so one of the areas is for sure the $1 million mark, but that is not the only thing that we're looking for. How coachable are they? If they, on the first, we do a free call to see if you're a good fit, right? If you are not coachable on that call, you're already telling me you're not gonna listen in the room. Sometimes with 7 figures, an ego can come into play. And if they don't wanna listen to anybody, then they're not gonna be happy here. We've actually let people go in the middle of their season with us and have just said, unfortunately, every time we say something, You either don't listen, don't want to do it, argue why you shouldn't be doing it. If you don't want our advice, like, it just doesn't make sense for you to be in this room, right? There's a lot of yeah buts, right? Like, yeah, but you don't get my industry. Yeah, but you don't understand my, Sally, who's been with me for 20 years. I could never say that to her. She would never do that, right? I think it's the coachability. Are you an implementer? These are high achievers that move fast. If you don't move fast, like if you come on a call 3 weeks in a row and you still haven't done the thing that you said you were going to do 3 weeks ago, the people in the room are looking at you like, what is going on? Like, take action. So I think it's more about like those than just, oh, they're $1 million. Like, we're good to go. So we are in Vegas for our Powerhouse Mastermind. It's for 7 and 8 figure business owners. So we do 3 of these retreats throughout the year. We rotate locations. So this is actually our first time in Vegas for this event. We've done Chicago. We're heading to Dallas next, Nashville, Orlando. We kind of go all over. So that's where we are at today. When you don't have friends in business, when you don't know, if you don't have people to talk to that are going through exactly what you're going through, I think that can really hurt you in a lot of ways. In fact, if you're talking to somebody who doesn't get it, they're just a consumer, you might even be hearing the opposite of what's going on, right? You might be hearing rumors of, businesses are down right now. Not all businesses are down, right? Some businesses are having record months. So I do think it's really interesting when you can tell for the first time somebody walks into this room and they're like, oh my goodness, you get it. You're going through it. Okay, you're not down, you are up. Okay, it's evidence of what's possible. So when somebody in the room is winning, even in a time when it feels like nobody is winning, it gives everybody hope, and then it gets them to get back on track and work harder. People walk out of the room being like, all right, game on. If she can do it, so can I. If he can do it, then I'm gonna do it too.
Hey, are you a business owner that's looking to not just increase their revenue, but actually have it positively impact your profit without you working more? Because let's be honest, there isn't any more time in the day. If so, I want to invite you to my free training called Protect Your Profit. I'm going to be breaking down our 3-part well-oiled operations framework. We're going to be going over the plan, the people, and the process. This training is completely free. We've already had over 100,000 small business owners join us, as this is one of our most popular trainings in You're in Luck, because we've got another one coming up very soon and it will be live. The strategy I'll share in this training is how we landed on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies in America list the last 2 years in a row. And I'll show you how to create a winning team of revenue generators, people that actually make you money, not cost you money, even if you don't think you can afford it. Go to welloiledclass.com and get registered for free. You'll walk away from this session with strategies you can actually implement and apply immediately, as well as I'll be gifting my 16-page hiring handbook, how to recruit, hire, and train top-tier talent. So come hang out with me and a few other 100 small business owners who are all looking to scale their business while scaling back their time. So get signed up for free at welloiledclass.com or click the link in the show notes, and I will see you there.
How do you evaluate your progress compared to other leaders in the industry?
I am more focused on me than other people. It's hard. I think people fake so much online that if I were to be evaluating myself against my competitors or their Instagram accounts, it's like everybody just shows off so much, and they're faking so much, right? Like right now, I'm driving a Mazda, a rental car. Like the amount of people that will rent the G-Wagon and pretend like they own it. Like I'm not here to play that game. A lot of people are. So I'm not really looking at my competitors besides like quick market research, right? I need to know what's out there, but I'm not going, ooh, who's bigger, who's more successful, who's whatever. I'm trying to beat myself. I can tell, obviously, like we just joined somebody else's program, and when they were telling us how many people were in there, we got in the Slack channel, and you can figure out the math. Like you can figure out revenue-wise, like roughly what we think they're doing or things like that. That I can look at. What do I do with that information? Not much. I mean, we know what works for us. So we're just going to keep trying to outperform ourselves. If I try to copy all my competitors that are doing different things, it's just so incredibly hard, because just because it works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you, right? And just because they're doing it doesn't mean it's even working. So that's something to really consider. I was in this group one time, my competitor was in there, and my team was like, we really should do this. They've been doing this for like 6 months. It's obviously working. I really think we should try it. And then we were in this room, and she was in there, and she writes in the Facebook group, you guys have been doing the strategy for 6 months. I can't get it to work. What do you think I should do? And I'm like, the team literally said, let's copy it. It must be working. No, just because they're doing it doesn't mean it's working. You have to remember that.
How do you prepare to create an atmosphere where attendees feel comfortable and vulnerable?
So before they even get here, we are giving them like a what to expect and what this is like and how to prepare. And I think because this isn't the first time this room has ever met, right? They have been on Zoom before this in-person event. They already have a really good idea of like who's here, what the level's like, what the questions are, things like that. We are really good about like, this is a safe space. Everything stays here. Nothing will be repeated, right? We want them to feel really safe, and truly, like, it is vulnerable. You start sharing, and all of a sudden the people that are like, I'm not even a crier, but I'm crying for some reason, right? Because you're in a room and you've been more honest with this person, this stranger next to you, than you have been with maybe your spouse, your family, your friends, because they just don't get and understand what it's like to be the business owner. So I think it's just like these people connect so fast because they're like, oh my goodness, you know, we're the same person, we're going through the same problems, we have the same struggles, and they just build really fast connection, and that just, I think, allows them to feel safe.
Who is meant for Powerhouse?
So Powerhouse has evolved over the years, but right now it is built for 7 and 8 figure business owners. So we have well-oiled, where anybody who's not at the 7-figure mark yet, our goal is to get them in well-oiled operations and well-oil their business to get them to scale to 7 figures. And then once they're at that 7-figure mark, and we do have some well-oiled members in 7 and 8 figures that, you know, wanted just to try us out first and start small before they jumped into Powerhouse. But a lot of those people very quickly upgrade when they realize like, oh, the higher level conversations in that room, like everybody in there has a team, right? Everybody in there is struggling with numbers that some people can't fathom, right? Like our payroll, you know, could be I should say my payroll is probably one of the higher ones, but like somebody's payroll in that room could be $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 paycheck every other Friday. If you're a brand new business owner, you can't grasp that, you don't understand that yet. It's just different, right? So I think just in general, it helps because they really are going through the same type of stuff. Christina's like sending me reminders. This is the part that I have to make sure. I can't be planning the event and the content. So I have my assistant is my events coordinator, and she does everything for it. So she's sending me reminders of like, don't forget to say this and make sure you say that. I don't have to think of that kind of stuff. And events are becoming such a big part of the company that we now have, oh my gosh, I was gonna say, I think there's 7 events a year. So my assistant just had to hire an assistant to start helping her with all of the events because of how much we are putting on. So that it's just been something we didn't anticipate, but everybody likes in-person events so much because I think they're so over Zoom and DIY courses and all of that. And that has been a surprise, but we like events and we're good at them. So it's a win-win for both of us.
I'm hoping that your Powerhouse attendees are getting out of this event today.
So today, I want them getting excited, seeing a bigger opportunity. So when you come in here, you have a certain level of belief and confidence in what you're doing, and I want to increase that. I want them to be thinking bigger. I want them to be believing they can actually do it and have the confidence to walk out of here and the confidence to just share with the people tonight at dinner, right? So they're gonna go network. I want them to be able to say that scary thing out loud and have it become more of a reality.
Well, there you have it. If you're interested in learning about masterminds here at Well-Oiled Operations, it's important to know that all of our programs have a coaching component as well as a mastermind component. So if you are a 6, 7, or 8-figure business owner, then we have a room for you. Now, please note that based on your revenue level, it will determine which room is best for you. For more information, you can go to bookwoocall.com and get all of the details there. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, rate, review, subscribe wherever you're watching. I'm Stacey Tuschl, your guide to streamlining and scaling your business.